friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Kenzie Sexton and I'm a 4th grade teacher in South Dakota. Today for Tech Tip Tuesday, I'm going to be showing you around Google Classroom. So let's get started. When we start at our Google home screen, we're going to go up to that waffle and you are going to have to scroll down a little bit until you see the classroom icon. You will click on that. And once it loads, it's going to ask you a few questions. So you'll start with your account. You'll click continue. To add a new class, you are going to have to click this plus sign in the top corner, whether you're going to add a class or join a class. So right now I'm going to show you how to add a class, but when you have your students join a class, they will also have to click that plus arrow. So I'm going to click the arrow and I'm going to click create a class. Okay, because this is the first time I've done one on this account, you have to click that you've read and understand the notice and click continue. You're then going to name your class. So I'm just going to do one that I've taught before because I'm in South Dakota. I do teach South Dakota history. So I'm going to name my class that. If you have multiple sections, you can type your section. I normally just put 4th grade. If you'd like to add subject, you can. If you'd like to add the room, you can. You also do not have to. Then you're going to click create. And once it is up, you'll have a few options. So up here at the top, you can change the header of your class. So you can do that by either selecting a theme or uploading a photo. Uploading a photo is pretty easy. You just save your photo that you want to your desktop and then click upload. But for right now, I'm just going to select a theme. You can choose what category you are doing and then choose whatever background you would like, your class theme, and it will change for you. So you can see all the information we entered is up at the top. Another way for your students to add the class is with this code, and if you click the display button, it pops the code up bigger, so then they can type in the code to join the class. So to set up the class, the easiest way I think to do this is by going to your classwork section. This is kind of where I look at all the assignments in an overview. The stream that we were on, that's when you can like post announcements to students. So like if you're wanting to tell the class test Monday at 10 a.m. You can post something like that. You can click post right away. You can click this drop down and you can schedule it for a certain date, time. You can post it right away, or you can save it as a draft so you can do something with it later. Also at the top, you have the option of choosing which students in your class get that notification. And then if you have multiple classes, so for instance, I teach 3 sections of social studies, which they are on the same track, they're doing the same thing. So when I make a post, I normally want to post it to all 3 classes, so I can just click this drop down arrow and then choose all 3 classes so that I don't have to repost it 3 separate times. You can also add links down here. It automatically hooks up to your Google Drive. So if you have something saved on your Google Drive, it's really easy to add. You can do a link to a website. You can add a file that you have saved on your computer, or you can link them to a YouTube video. So that's super easy to use. So I'm going to go into the classwork section. In the classwork section, I would click create to put an assignment in. But the first thing I would do is add a topic. So my topic is normally what I use as my units. So I'm going to click on topic. I'm just going to label it Unit 1. And then I'm going to add that. If you have a title for that unit, that's great. You can add that as well. So I'm going to click add. So then you can see it adds that unit right away at the top as like the main category. So now when I click create and go to an assignment, I can type in the assignment title. So let's say this assignment is Unit 1, Lesson 3, and I want them to read the instructions on our class page and then take the check-in quiz. So what I can do is I can add something, again, a link, a file, YouTube, Google Drive, or I can create something off of this. So I've actually already created this check-in, so I'm just going to add the check-in. When I did this with my class for digital learning, I also put in a link to a reading that I would want them to do. So I'm going to go to my Google Drive and I'm going to type in Unit 1, Lesson 3, check-in. It pops up right away. Click on that, and you can see it adds it at the bottom. Then if I look off to the side now, obviously it's going to go to this class because that's the only class option I have. But again, you can assign it to different classes. You can assign it to specific students. You can add different amounts of points, and it will add it to your gradebook on Google Classroom. However, you can only have one check-in, one link on this page if you want it to grade it actually on Google Classroom. And it has to have all of the security boxes checked. So it has to be only allow one answer. It has to be within your G Suite group. There's a couple different qualifications for that to work. It's actually, I think, more difficult to do it that way. In another video, I'm going to show you a little bit more with Google Forms, so I can explain that more in that video. So if you want to learn more about that, stay tuned. But for right now, I'm not going to assign this at any point, so I'm just going to click on graded. You can change the points if you'd like, though. And then the due date, if you click a due date, it will pop up on the kids' calendar on here, so it's easier for them to keep track of. So you can just click the day you want it to be due on, a specific time if you have a time you want. For the topic, this is where you're going to pick that unit that you just posted. So I want it to be in Unit 1, so I'm going to click on Unit 1. If you have a rubric you want to add, you can. I don't have one right now, so I'm not going to add that. So then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to the top here. If you click the drop down again, you have the option to assign it right now, to schedule it, or save it as a draft. So right now I'm just going to click assign so I can show you what it looks like, but normally I would schedule it for a certain time that I want the students to actually start working on that assignment. So if I click assign, you'll see here it has my Unit 1, and then it has Unit 1, Lesson 3, the specific lesson. So if I click on that, everything that we just talked about is right there. And then as students start to turn it in, I'll be able to see it here as well. Then if you click on people, this is typically where you would see all your students' names as they get added, so you can see who's all in your class. The grades is what I was talking about earlier. I don't have any students in this class right now, so I cannot show you the grades, but it would just look like a normal grade book here. So then if you go to your stream again, you'll see that I just posted the assignment. And then off to the side, this is what's super handy for the kids. It shows the upcoming assignment, when it's due, what assignment is, and they can click on it and go right to that assignment to start working on it. If you enjoyed this video today, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe below. I would also love to hear from you in the comments. Thanks for watching.